Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! Hi, welcome to our Descendants and Zombies YouTube channel. The reason why I refer to it as our Descendants and Zombies YouTube channel is because we created something special together for every fan of Descendants and Zombies that has gone on to touch the hearts of thousands of people who have hit that subscribe button, who have showed an endless amount of love and support for every video that we've ever uploaded on this YouTube channel together. I say this because this YouTube channel is pretty much an open book, a conversation that never has to end, that should never be over, because so many people out there believe that the story of zombies is far from over. And if you are somebody who believes that this story is far from over and should never have been told and completed when it comes to Zed Madison or Meg Donnelly and Milo Manheim, then I think you should hit that subscribe button. And I think you should forever and always remain a fan of Descendants and Zombies, because what it comes down to is how passionate you feel about a story, and how many times it can be told and retold over and over again. Hi everyone, my name is Jonathan Clarke, and I have loved to tell the story to thousands of people of Descendants and Zombies, because I tell this story better than anybody ever could. And if you're somebody who believes that this story is far from over and should never end, and there should always be a conversation happening on YouTube, which is a site I love to upload videos to, then I think you should forever and always remain a fan of Descendants and Zombies for your favorite characters, your favorite moments that have defined you for being a fan of Descendants and Zombies. Thank you so much for all the love and support you have shown every video that I ever uploaded, because I never knew how I was going to achieve such worldwide popularity for having been such a huge fan of Descendants and Zombies. Because you see, I don't need the Descendants and Zombies merch as part of my backdrop for every video that I ever upload, the Descendants and Zombies dolls, because I can talk about it in a way that nobody else ever could. Because you see, it all starts with a passion that starts with inside of your heart. If you're passionate about collecting Descendants and Zombies merch, like the sweaters, the hoodies, the dolls, it's an amazing feeling to be a part of something special. And that's why I thought events like the Worlds Collide Tour and the premiere of Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires were moments to be celebrated and to be honored. And that's what I wanted to do, was to celebrate these moments and to honor them, because these moments meant so much to your hearts. You guys, for the first time in your lives, felt a part of something special because of Descendants and Zombies and the stories that were told. The stories that were told time and time again. And I know how it goes. Many YouTube creators have tried to tell you their versions of these stories that you never really wanted to pay much attention to, because you believed in your hearts a certain way this story should go, a certain way this story was meant to be told. And I took that under consideration. I listened to Descendants and Zombies fans because I believe that one of the most important things that a YouTube creator should do by far, every single time, is listen to his or her audience. Because when you listen to your audience, it really defines you for being a YouTube creator that really understands his or her audience and gives them what they want every single time. You know, over this past year, this YouTube channel has gone on to receive a garnered reputation for thousands of views, almost 100,000 views, which is our next milestone. And over 3,500 subscribers have subscribed to this YouTube channel for the way that I've told this story. Because I believed in that passionate love story between Zed and Addison more than anybody else, and believed that it should never be over and should never have to be over. Because no matter how many times somebody tells you that this story has been told and completed and it's time for us to embark on a new journey and to become a part of a new era and really embrace that era with Malachi Burton and Freya Skye, I have never really believed it. Because if they're sitting behind the camera offering creative direction and a directorial sense for Descendants of Zombies, then did they ever really leave the franchise to begin with? I don't think so. This is why I've had a greater appreciation for every director that's ever sat in that chair for Descendants of Zombies, and why I believe the director and the producer for Descendants of Zombies should be dedicated to this franchise. Because you guys have been dedicated to this franchise. You saw something special in this franchise. That was truly undeniable. You didn't care who directed it, as long as they believed in this franchise as much as each and every one of you. And that's why on every video that I've ever uploaded, I've said that I wanted to be the writer and producer behind Descendants and Zombies. I wanted to give this more of a chance than ever before, because I believe there was a certain direction this franchise should have been taken in. If you believe Victor and Nova are going to kiss at some point or another, in one way or another, in some capacity or some form in the Zombies franchise, and I believe that whatever you are going through, I think you should believe in this happening more than ever before. Even if it takes us 7 years to see them share that passionate kiss and to tell each other they love each other, because that's what this story comes down to. It's how much much you believe in a significant moment happening for zombies. So I have never tried to, take away the hopes and dreams of everybody that Victor and Nova are going to kiss, because I want to see it too. I was looking forward to it in Zombies 4: Dawn of the Vampires, because going into this, I didn't think they weren't going to kiss. Obviously, the writers and producers felt differently about Victor and Nova having a passionate kiss like Meg Donnelly and Milo Manheim did. That distinction was given to them. Now, the reason is because they have to tell a story, and there is so much more of a story for them to tell in the Zombies franchise, and it's a story that I'm incredibly excited to be a part of. Because as the years go by, people are going to become more excited about what this story is going to detail, what supernatural forces they're going to have to encounter, what kind of situations they're going to have to get each other out of. I love the story of how two people love each other and they make every sacrifice in the world to be a part of each other's lives, and they never leave each other's side, and they're incredibly supportive of each other. I can never seem to get enough of it. And that's why I've loved talking about it so much, because even if it takes us 7 years, Victor and Nova will fall deeply in love with each other, and they're going to fall that deeply in love with each other that they're never going to get out of it. And they're going to be a part of each other's lives for forever, because that's exactly how it was meant to go for Zed and Addison. So why can't it be the same way for Victor and Nova? Why do so many people have to feel so differently about their age and how they have things going on in their own lives, and why they can't make Zombies 5, and why Zombies 5 has to be delayed so long? I mean, 2028 feels like forever away, and people have been wondering what the release window is looking like for Zombies 5. Yes, it's suggesting up as late as 2028, but even though that's going to happen in 2028 and not going to happen until 2028, all that means is that yours truly is going to have to upload Descendants of Zombies videos for the rest of my life, which I have no issues doing, because that will give me time to meet even more fans of the Zombies franchise, because you guys all came together and took a loser on YouTube and made him into one of the most popular YouTube channels in the world, one of the most popular YouTube channel hosts ever. I don't know what it was about me. Perhaps it was the way I told the story and how I believed in it and how I could say, "Hi, welcome to Seabrook. My name is Jonathan. You guys have never seen me be a part of the Zombies franchise ever before in your lives, but I've loved this story so much, and this is how I feel it should go." Because in every video that you ever upload about Descendants of Zombies, it's all about how you tell that story over and over again, if not 1,000 times. And you know something? I've loved telling that story over 1,000 times, if not more. Because I've always believed in encouraging you that whatever dream or whatever hope you have for your favorite characters or your favorite stars, seeing them share the stage on the Worlds Collide Tour and being so appreciative of every moment they had to share with each and every one of you to make you guys feel special, because you were a part of that moment too, that you shared in with your favorite stars, that defines you for being fans of Descendants of Zombies. This was a moment in time that we really experienced together. I sat at home and I watched it on YouTube because I couldn't get a ticket, because there were no concert dates in my area. But even having said that, it didn't stop me from posting hundreds of reviews about the Worlds Collide Tour and telling you my story of how I thought it should go. Because I think that these characters are characters that deserve to be celebrated. These are characters that deserve to be honored. Because you take Freya Sky, for instance. Freya Sky has come so far in such a short amount of time. She's only, 16 years old. So she's accomplished so much at 16 years old. And by the time she's 25, almost 30 years old, the time Taylor Swift's age comes around for Freya Sky, she is going to be in that argument for being the next Taylor Swift, hands down. And I fully support the direction of Freya Sky's career, because I really do believe that she is going to be the next Disney pop star, if anything. Because you guys remember how it all happened for Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift was in a bar, in a karaoke bar one night, and an agent saw her that was attending the same bar, attending her performance, and all she was doing was playing a guitar. And seemingly overnight, her career exploded, and she went on to become one of the biggest superstars in the world. There is a book that details the history of every song that Taylor Swift has ever produced, and it tells a very unique story of how she was inspired to create and write all these beautiful songs that would eventually land on every Taylor Swift album and record that would be produced over the course of the last 15 years. And it's been an incredible 15-year journey for Taylor Swift. Disney Plus has an interesting documentary documenting the Eras Tour. And, I think about the Eras Tour and how popular the Eras Tour was, because this is a moment that Taylor Swift will never have the chance of experiencing ever again. And then this upcoming tour for Freya Sky, I think Taylor Swift's tour was so huge, but I also think that Freya Sky's tour could be just as big, because we have so many fans of Freya Sky who are so dedicated to Freya Sky. It is truly unbelievable how far Freya Sky has come in such a short amount of time, and how much of a chance everybody's taken her. Because the chemistry between herself and Malachi Burton was huge for Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires. I can't even begin to tell you guys how excited I was to be a part of that story with Malachi Burton and Freya Sky, because it was a story that had never been told before. It is a story that we have never heard before, and everybody was so excited to see these new characters make their debut in the Zombies franchise. You know, I think that you guys are incredible because you've never listened to every critic on YouTube, and that's what the most outstanding quality seems to be of every Descendants and Zombies fan. Shout out to every YouTuber. All the Descendants and Zombies niches ever wanted is for somebody to encourage them that the story for Descendants and Zombies will never end, that the story for Descendants and Zombies has a future. And if you can encourage them that this story has a future, and you can tell it better than anybody else ever could, your YouTube channel will go on to become the most popular YouTube channel in the world. Kind of like how it happened for me. I just started uploading videos about Descendants and Zombies at random, went to sleep one night and woke up with 1,000 subscribers, and I have each and every one of you to thank. When I woke up with over 1,000 subscribers, I was like, oh my god, I have 1,000 subscribers. And I said, well, I best keep uploading Descendants of Zombies videos. And that's led me to this moment that I've had to share with each and every one of you. Moments like I got to spend Halloween with you this year. I got to come home for Christmas and celebrate Christmas with each and every one of you. We're going to celebrate the New Year together. And I think it's going to be a celebration that deservingly so should happen, because 2026 is going to be a huge year for Descendants of Zombies fans. I'm really excited about the future for Kylie Cantrell, because I think Kylie Cantrell has been one Descendant star who has seen her fair share of criticism, and Kylie Cantrell has cried for far long enough. Kylie Cantrell needs to be focusing on what matters, and that is each and every one of you, and should never doubt in her ability to entertain each and every one of you and to ever be a part of something special. Because Kylie Cantrell deserves to be caught up within these moments with each and every one of you. To be calling you guys during TikTok live videos, to be meeting you at meet and greets for Descendants of Zombies PR, signing your autographs, getting a chance to shake your hand, understanding why you're a fan of her the way that you are. I would love to be a part of these Descendants and Zombies meet and greets for every video that I've ever uploaded on YouTube. I would love for Disney to call me and say, hey, Jonathan Clarke, do you want to be a part of this latest meet and greet we've got going on for Descendants of Zombies? If the answer was yes, I would be on a plane tomorrow, because I would love to have the honor to meet so many Descendants of Zombies fans that I have yet to meet. Because I've met thousands of Descendants of Zombies fans, but because there are 600,000 fans of Descendants of Zombies out there, I would love to take myself up in the opportunity to be a part of these meet and greets and to be the announcer for events like the Worlds Collide Tour. You guys would be cool with that, right? Hearing Jonathan Clarke's voice being the announcer of the Worlds Collide Tour, perhaps leg 2 of the Worlds Collide Tour, we could do something like this. Welcome to the Descendants and Zombies Worlds Collide Tour. You know, I would love to do that, because there's a certain pride and a passion that goes with telling a story about Descendants of Zombies and how much you believe in this story. I believed in Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson and Cameron Boyce's story from years ago, and I believe in this story just as much, because I was a fan of Kylie Cantrell for what felt like forever. I loved telling this story time and time again, and just being a part of it, because Kylie Cantrell was a beautiful person. She was somebody who you could very easily fall in love with, and I instantly fell in love with Kylie Cantrell. It had everything to do with how she wanted to sing more than anything else in the world. She wanted to sing and dance. She wanted to entertain each and every one of you, and she just wanted to be a part of something special. And I think the more that people understood who Kylie Cantrell was and how she felt about life, how she was a very emotional person, I think more people, became fans of Kylie Cantrell as time went on. I never necessarily agree with her political point of view, having ended up in conversations and her relationship being talked about as much as what it was, because it got to the point where Kylie Cantrell had to record TikTok videos explaining why her relationship turned out the way it did, and her political point of view had ended up in conversations about Donald Trump. I remember years ago reading Donald Trump's book. It was called The Art of the Deal. And I lost all respect for Donald Trump after I read The Art of the Deal. And I was thinking to myself, Kylie Cantrell is having to go on TikTok and explain why she's not a fan of Donald Trump and she's not a Donald Trump supporter. I never cared if Kylie Cantrell was a supporter of Donald Trump or not. What I would care about is if I ran for president of the United States, which I'm seriously thinking about doing, if Kylie Control was a fan of me and she supported me. Because I give you guys my word, after my name has ended up in conversation about running for president of the United States for the better part of the last 20 years, because Kylie Control has inspired me more than ever before to throw my name into the running for president of the United States and launch my own presidential campaign, I give you my word that I will make it up to every Descendant star to how they've been made to feel because of a president of the United States that we've seen come before me, or how they've made people like Kylie Control feel. Because I think that Kylie Control deserves to grow up in a world where she feels confident about the person leading the world into the future. And I will do everything in my power to make sure that these Descendant stars feel more confident heading in towards that future. They have the financial backing for their music, for the production of Descendants and Zombies, because I would love to be a part of these productions. That's the reason why I say this. And you guys are really living my dream, to be a part of all these beautiful Disney productions, to be a part of these moments in time that we really wish we could stop if we were in possession of a pocket watch and relive over and over again. Because everybody who ever was a fan of Descendants and Zombies deserves the right and deserves the honor to feel as if they were a part of something special. Moments that will never ever happen again and should forever and always be cherished. Because I don't need to know you to know that you're a good person. I think that people who judge the Descendants and Zombies franchises are totally out there. It is totally unfair to judge Descendants and Zombies and to put it in a category that it's never belonged in before. And I think that if we take more of a chance on Descendants and Zombies, only beautiful things can happen. Because when you really think about this beautiful love story that's currently being told and presented for Victor and Nova, Malachi Burton and Freya Sky, they still have a long way to go. But you know something that I noticed about them every single time that they're a part of a project or they're working together? They never ever say the words, I love you, but they show it in their actions every single time. The appreciation that I get from Malachi Burton and Freya Sky is unlike anything that I've ever experienced in my lifetime. And it just goes to show that you never have to say the words I love you to somebody to let somebody know how you truly feel. And I saw that in the Snow Angels music video when Malachi Burton held Freya Sky in his arms for a brief moment, and just by looking into each other's eyes, they were telling each other how they felt about each other so deeply within their souls without ever having said the words I love you. And that's what made that music video so beautiful. I never cared they shot it in July. I never cared about the timeline for the video. I just loved experiencing it. When you think about 74,000 likes, which is something I would love to have for this YouTube channel, by the way, guys, because your love and support is beautiful. I think that this music video deserved everything that it ever was rewarded. I think that all the hard work definitely paid off, and I think there are more beautiful projects for us to really enjoy and to be a part of and to discuss. And I look forward to being a part of that, because when you think about the music videos for Red Christmas and Snow Angels, which was a successor, I think these are just beautiful moments. And I think that people who are recording reaction videos about Descendants and Zombies are pretty much people who have never watched Descendants and Zombies ever before. They're pretty much just throwing themselves up in the corner using OBS Studio, which is the program you use to record reaction videos. I say this because I really do believe that people who talk about Descendants and Zombies and who celebrate Descendants and Zombies really have to understand their audience and what their audience really have to get out of the videos they're watching for Descendants and Zombies. And time and time again, I've apologized for every video that you guys have been subjected to watching about Descendants and Zombies, because I've always believed that you guys have deserved far better reviews when it comes to people like Freya and Kylie, because they deserve to be treated a whole lot better than what they do. And I'm talking in terms of respect. Because if Kylie Control can record the most beautiful music ever, and record it independently, mind you, because recording an independent EP is extremely challenging to really distribute yourself the way that you want to, as apart from a management label, which Taylor Swift has been pretty much riding off the back of for forever. I don't care how many books she puts out telling us how, she felt inspired to write this song or that song. She's always had a record label or a management label riding off the back of. And I think that people like Kylie Control and Freya Sky should be given more of a chance, because it's always a constant struggle to put yourself out there and to perceive yourself the way that you always want to be perceived, because it's very hard and very challenging to be accepted in a world that sometimes is very difficult to achieve acceptance in. And I've just wanted to be one of those voices that you guys could trust in when it came to Descendants of Zombies for telling this story time and time again, because it's one story that I'd love to share with each and every one of you. It's all about how you present your content and how you have heart every single time that you present a video about Descendants of Zombies. And you can only hope, however many views you're going to receive, that somebody is going to hear your voice, going to watch your video, and going to hit your subscribe button and support your journey that I feel like I've forever and always been on, talking about Descendants of Zombies and perceiving and telling the story time and time again, if not 1,000 times over, which is an experience that I forever and always loved, I forever and always cherished, and it's an experience that I will never ever forget, having the honor to meet so many wonderful fans who have drawn inspiration from every video that I've ever uploaded about Kylie and Ruby, who was one of my favorites of all time. Guys, bottom line, your favorite Descendants of Zombies stars deserve more of a chance to be taken on than ever before. There's always been something associated with my voice, having told this story about Descendants of Zombies time and time again. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Jonathan Clarke, and I love meeting new Descendants of Zombies fans all the time. And if you browse down through my archives, you will realize there is something here on this YouTube channel for everybody, and I would love to have you subscribe to this YouTube channel before you go. So if you get a moment, you can always hit my subscribe button, give me a couple of likes, and we'll go from there. Because if you trust in me, I will never ever let you down, and every day there will be at least one video uploaded to this YouTube channel about Descendants of Zombies, which is something I've taken great pride in, and I love doing for every fan of Descendants of Zombies, because there is a great appreciation to be had about this franchise every single time that you ever upload a video. So thank you guys so much for having watched this video. We will talk about Descendants of Zombies bright and early once again tomorrow morning, which is something and an opportunity that I'm really excited about and really looking forward to, because I know everybody has a story they would love to share and love to be heard about Descendants of Zombies. Everybody has a prediction when it comes to these franchises, and I love hearing your stories just as much as I love sharing my stories with you as to why I'm a fan of Descendants of Zombies, having made this YouTube channel the most popular Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel in the world. Thank you so much for having watched this video.